Hello traders and welcome to the weekly outlook and setups volume 53. It's Iliya here, and as always I'm super excited to see you on my YouTube channel. As you know, in this video we're gonna have a look at the market, how it developed, what opportunities do we have, and what can we expect for the upcoming week. So this week was on fire. We finally had some nice opportunities that I'm gonna share with you. I took some of them, amazing opportunities, finished the week on profits, so I'm gonna share with you as much as possible so you can gain value from the setups that played out, and as well I'm gonna provide you with some immediate setups that might play it out. But as you know, I try to adapt to the market every single day, so my analysis from Saturday or from Sunday will not be the same potentially on Monday and on Tuesday, because the market tends to move, tends to shift. And especially on Monday, guys, this is what I advise my community: don't trade on Mondays, because the market is kind of just waking up. Investors are trying to position themselves, and most of the times the key levels, the zones that you have from Sunday, are gonna just get smashed. So on Tuesday you have to adapt again and have a new analysis. So keep that in mind. And yeah, if you like this channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell in order not to miss the upcoming content that is coming, because I've been recording some things, but I'm a little bit busy with university and stuff. So until everything is gone, then I'm gonna go all in. Of course, I want to make sure to mention that this video is sponsored by Crypto Rocket. It's an amazing broker, especially for crypto. You can trade Forex there as well. You have 56 currencies. The spreads are very low, the withdrawals are very fast, and the commissions are low. So make sure to check them out. Link will be down in the description. And if you already did it, let's see what do we have for this amazing week. As always, starting from our best friend, the DXY, let's see what do we have here. So from the weekly time frame, we see kind of a bullish signal, because this is a bullish pin bar. So the market has been flushing down for 3 weeks straight without any clear pullbacks, and this week finally we had some bullish action from the bottom. And actually there was a pretty nice short opportunity on Euro USD that was caused by the strength of the dollar. So the interest rates were kept the same, and maybe this caused the dollar to push up a little bit. The stock started to fall, but yeah, we're gonna discuss this a little bit later. So from weekly time frame, we have a little bit of a bullish signal, possibly from this supportive level that price just tapped in. And if we translate this to the daily, you can see, guys, just a massive downtrend. So I believe from a previous volume we expected the market to start pulling back, but you see the market just opens. I believe it was right here, 8th of June, little candle right here, little indecision, spike to the upside, potential to create a lower high on the 4-hourly time frame, and then we continue to the downside. No clear pullback, but right now we can see that we have 2 days of bullish pullback, which is pretty nice. So am I bullish on the dollar? Well, for the current moment, yes I am, because as you can see, the market opened around this kind of area, pulled back for a lower high, strongly pushed down, but then the price action got very choppy right here, very constricted, or very, you get the point. So you see little pushes, little pullbacks, little pushes, little pullbacks, and then after this massive push to the upside, what I spotted that was just yesterday is that we had an inverse head and shoulders play out just right here. So the market broke all of this structure here on the left, and we had a left shoulder, right shoulder, and this was the left shoulder, head, right shoulder, perfectly tapped into the area, into the EMA, and a nice explosion to the upside, which provided us with an amazing short on Euro USD. So what are my expectations on the dollar? Well, I would like to see it push further, maybe to create a bigger daily pullback. So what I will do, as you know, I just mark my most important structural levels. This is my higher high that the market can retest, and this is my higher low that I will not allow price to break below, because if it breaks below the higher low, then potentially this means for me that the market is reversing, and then we're gonna have a retest and a continuation to the downside. So let's see what happens. I'm bullish on the dollar, maybe a retest, higher low formation, and then we can head higher for potentially for a bigger daily pullback. So let's see what happens. Bullish on the dollar. Let's see Euro USD. Euro USD weekly time frame, exactly the same as the DXY, but just in reverse. If I just do this, you will see the same price action as the DXY. So price action is at the top, trending to the upside for 3 weeks, but we finally tapped into some sort of supply area, or just support and resistance, and we had some pressure from the upside. So going into the daily, you can see a massive uptrend, so we expect the price to pull back into those broken areas or just to create a higher low, but no, price just continued to carry on to the upside. And at the top right here, we started to have some consolidation, the market failing to break above. If we draw like the high of this week, the bodies never broke above, and we had a beautiful evening star formation right here on the daily, which was pretty major. So translating to the 4-hourly time frame, what we had, so the price never created bearish structure. Some of our guys were tricked into taking shorts just right here, because this was a push, this was a pullback, higher low formation, but this was just a fake out. So we had a breakout, and if I go to the hourly time frame, there wasn't very nice retest, and if I go to the 15-minute, there might be a signal, but yeah, I didn't consider this an opportunity. And as you can see, this was just a break and then break back above, and then we continue to the upside to create a higher high. But what happens when we get to the higher high is the market starts to consolidate. It starts to fail to break above and fail to break below as well. But if you look carefully, you see that big supportive level right here. You see it starts from here, those little candles, tap, 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 tap. Then what do we have on 11th of June? Massive break below the EMA, break below the structure, and the price stayed below. And this was Friday. We had a stay below. We have a beautiful test of the structure, beautiful test of the EMA. If I drop to the hourly time frame, we have a beautiful pullback, nice impulse and a nice pullback right here. And on the 15 minutes time frame, you get your beautiful setup, which I took just from here. You see price pushing up, then we fail to make a new higher high, price breaks below, retests at this area, a little bit of drawdown right here, but if your stop loss was above this structure, then you nail a beautiful Friday trade. So yeah, this was the setup. I didn't take any longs on this one just because I didn't want to take longs into such overextended market. So what I expect for this week, well, I will keep this lower high the same because this is my major key area. I have my lower low that I expect price to come back to test. So I will just be looking for a lower high formation and then potential for the market to continue down. As always, as I keep telling you, make sure to flow with the market, because what might happen is the market might just break above the lower high and then continue trending up. We have a situation for head and shoulders, but I think it's already too late. Like, this could have been the right shoulder, but it's not very clear. And what can we expect from the daily time frame? Well, we can expect a daily pullback. Of course, if I just draw a fib, you will see like the 50 and the 61.8% area could be a potential profit taking area. 11,500 to 11.0 could be a potential target area. So I'm short bias on the euro, buy bias on the DXY. So let's see if that plays out, how I'm going to be entered just after simple lower highs. Let's have a look at Euro Yen weekly time frame. So what do we have right here, guys, is a massive bullish push to the upside. So I believe I expected a push to the downside because the market cannot just continue to trend like this in a very straight line. It has to pull back. So you can see it's not a bearish engulf, it's actually an inside bar formation, because you see this weekly candle is perfectly inside this bullish engulf right here. So from daily time frame, this looks like a perfect higher low formation right here, because if I draw the Fibonacci like this, you see 50% was just hit and maybe 61.8%. We will have a little push to the downside to tap the 61, and then we potentially can reverse. However, from 4-hourly perspective, you will see that the market is perfectly bearish for now. So we had a break below right here. The price created the first lower highs just right here. You can see one candle pullback, lower low, lower high, price stayed right here. I didn't take a short on Euro Yen because it was too unclear. Like, just look at those candles side by side, chop, 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 chop. Then we had a strong push to the downside. On Friday, we had a pullback, so potentially short opportunity, but it was already too late for me to take this one, and I didn't want to stay in that trade. And as well, we had that push and the pullback was pretty strong for me. So I really needed something to tell me that this was a nice trade. Potentially it could have been right here, but yeah, I just didn't take it. So what are my expectations for next week? So as you saw from the daily time frame, this looks pretty bullish. So I don't want to confuse 4-hourly and daily, but they kind of move together, and the higher time frame, the stronger it is. So what I will do though is I keep following my structure, right? So I have my lower high. As long as price stays below, then I'm gonna look for shorts. I have my lower low. So if the market breaks below, then I continue looking for shorts. So price action is currently stuck in the middle of those two levels. And what we are looking for, you already know, guys, is a strong break above and a retest for long opportunities, and then a continuation of the daily. Because if this happens, if this daily setup occurs, then the market can take us very high into 127, which is around the 27% extension. And if the market continues to push to the downside, then I will be taking shorts. What are the setups for shorts? Well, potentially the market can come to test the lower high to create a double top, provide us with a little level right here, a little bit of rejections, and then it might push down. And if that push down breaks below the lower low, then we have a perfect bearish trend. What can happen as well, the market might open, it might break straight to the downside, and if it breaks like this, then of course we're gonna wait for a retest and further short opportunities. So Euro Yen, I'm kind of 50-50 on that one. Just the daily worries me a little bit that it looks like a perfect push and a pullback. So let's see how the 4 hourly reacts. Right now we don't have an opportunity. We either have to wait for price to come into the major area or price to break a major area. So let's see. Aussie USD weekly time frame, let's see what do we have here. So what I can see is that the market is tapping right now into a strong supply area from the weekly, which is 0.70 as well, key level in the market. So we can expect some sort of reaction, which is actually already happening. So from the daily time frame, what we can see is a strong push to the upside and right now a pullback. So it looks like EJ, but is this price action gonna sustain and keep pushing to the upside? We shall see from our key time frame, which is the 4 hourly, because what we have right here is some people from the community took shorts from this double top, which is perfect. Then what did we have is this subtle retest of this last higher low, break, little retest and a short opportunity. And then on Friday, we had a beautiful, beautiful pullback retest of this structure on the left, EMA tap, and then we continued to push to the downside, but there was some profit taking. Just the last candle, you see a push to the upside. So again, very simple analysis on that one. Where is your lower high? Right here. Where is your lower low? Just right here. Where is price? In the middle. What do we wait for? Well, either for price to come into the major area to reject and take a short if we're provided the criteria on the hourly and the 15-minute, the market to break above and retest for potential long opportunities and a daily continuation of that push and a pullback, or a strong break below this level, come back for retest and then further shorts. So this is what I will be looking at. A few scenarios. You can see the hourly time frame already looks like a consolidation. So what I need to see is either a break above and a retest, a rejection from the top, or a break below and a retest. So that's AU. Let's have a look at AJ as well. Also JPY, similar to AU, we have that supply area that the market tapped into, and then we had some selling pressure coming in, which creates again a daily pullback. So again, we're gonna apply the same concept. The daily is bullish and this looks like a pullback. However, what we need to see in order to take the trade is a bullish invalidation of that downtrend, because we had some pretty nice shorting opportunities right here. There was one just right here, but this nasty wick right here I think was something that stopped us from taking the trade, or it wasn't a clear setup, and then we just banked into the downside. Then we pulled back beautifully into the EMA. We formed a little lower high, potential short opportunity again, but it was Friday, and you see on Friday we don't have much movement sometimes on some of the pairs. So again guys, same concept. In order to take a long, we need that bearish trend to get invalidated, because so far we've been trending down for the week. So what I need to see is the market to break above that level and come back for a retest and then continue to the upside. So this will be my setup for longs, and if the market provides me with this, then I can expect that the market will create a new higher high from the daily time frame. But this depends on the strength on the Aussie and the weakness of the yen. So we're gonna check USD JPY as well. But kind of all the pairs look the same right now, the daily pullbacks, because we had some massive pushes, and right now we're having the pullbacks. However, we don't know if those pullbacks are really pullbacks or a new downtrend. So far we've been trending down. I've been taking shorts on that one. So yeah, we keep doing this until we see otherwise. As I told you, currently we're sitting in a lower high formation, and as long as price stays below that level, I will be taking shorts, because potentially the market can come back in here, find rejections, find resistance, then provide me with a little hourly setup, a little trend of break of a trend line, then a 15-minute pullback. This is how I trade, and then we can take a short into the supportive level. And if then the supportive level breaks with a strong candle, we can wait for a little retest and then a continuation down. So short bias on the AUD JPY for now, but we have to see if this is a daily pullback and if we're gonna have the buyers coming in. Let's have a look at the NZDs, pretty much the same as the Aussies. We have 3 weeks of massive bullish price action, and right now this week we had a little bit of an indecision right here, a little bit of a resistance, but you can see the pullback is not that strong right here. We have a massive push to the upside, and right now we have a pullback. So I believe that this is gonna push down a little bit more, but we never know, and this is why we have to follow the structure again. So from a 4 hourly perspective, the market found the top right here. We had a little manipulation above. then we pushed to the downside, very exactly the same as AUD USD. We had a little trade right here, then the market continued to push to the downside to create a lower low. We pull back for a lower high right here. If you take a short opportunity, depends on you because it's Friday. I usually don't trade on Fridays. On some occasions I do. Yeah, so this is the current situation of this market, absolutely the same as AUD USD. We're sitting in the middle right here, so what I need to see is a break above and a retest, or a break below and a retest, or again the market coming into the major area, the major lower high, which is just right here, rejecting again and showing us some hourly setups. You see how the market taps into the level, pulls back away, then comes back to test again, creating a double top on the 15-minute, which are the most beautiful opportunities as well. So let's see what happens. I kind of feel that this is going to go down a little bit more to create a deeper daily pullback, but we never know how the market will open and what the strength of the NZD and the Aussie will be. They're pretty much correlated. So if AUD USD starts to push stronger to the upside, then NZD USD will potentially follow. So this is my setup on NZD USD, nothing much to discuss. So we'll just wait for the structure to develop and make sure to adapt to the market. NZD/JPY, let's see what do we have here. We still have a little bit of a supply area just right here where the market stopped for a bit, push, pullback, and a massive push to the downside, which means that we have a little bit of a supply area right here at 71.0, almost 72. So dropping to the daily time frame, again the same. Those pairs are all the same. So we have a strong push to the upside and then a pullback to the downside. So is this a higher low? Well, we shall see, as I keep telling you, from the 4-hour time frame. Like the daily trend is perfectly bullish, we're pulling back right now, but from 4-hour perspective, like we took shorts, because when the market found the top right here, we pulled back for a potential higher low, then the market tried to push up but failed and provided us with a nice explosion to the downside, then created this beautiful corrective pattern right here. You see strong push to the downside, correction, break, and a retest just right here. And if we go to the 15 minutes, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I didn't take a trade on this one because this was pure manipulation. This was the interest rate decision. So the market was very spiky, very choppy. So I just said, nah, I don't want to take a trade. And yeah, maybe right here on the retest of this supportive level, you can take a trade, but I just skipped that one. So let's concentrate again and let's see what do we have for the week ahead. Well, price just created a lower high and tried to push down, but it's failing. So what can we expect is the market to come back up again to gather some more liquidity, to reject a little bit and then continue to the downside. But what we can expect as well is the market to break above, come back for a retest and continue to the upside. So we have to see what is going to happen. We again have our supportive level right here that if we take a short, we have to make sure that our take profit is safe right here and it has a minimum risk to reward of 1 to 2 into that level. So let's see what happens. Price right now, it's not looking pretty nice, like because this was Friday right here, a little bit of a consolidation. So let's see how Monday opens. I'm more short bias than buy bias on this one, but again the daily time frame is bullish, so in order to take buys I will need a strong impulse to the upside on Monday, and then on Tuesday I will need the pullback, and then I will take a trade to the upside, and otherwise I will just wait to see how the market is going to react from that level right here. And if it starts to reject, if it provides me with a nice hourly setup, something like this, a bullish trend line break and a retest, then I'm gonna take a short. So again, let's see what happens. Make sure to have those two key areas. Keep your analysis simple, guys. You see how simple it is. And yeah, let's just follow the market. USD/JPY weekly time frame, let's see what do we have. So what I can see is a strong bearish engulfing candle on the weekly, which is a pretty strong signal. But what do we have as well here is 4 days of straight decline. Like it was really a madness and the market didn't provide any pullback. So I didn't take any trades on UJ because as you can see, since the market opened right here on 8th of June, it just melted to the downside without providing anything. Like you had to look on the hourly time frame, but I don't think the hourly time frame is much clearer as well. So yeah, no opportunities on this one for me. So the price action is pretty weird right now because we have this massive push to the downside, and right now we have a pullback. However, is this pullback a lower high? Yeah, we don't know, and it's pretty messy. So what I will do, as always, is I will try to just mark my recent levels. So this could be a lower high, but what I need to see in order for this lower high to be valid is I need to see the market to pull away and then potentially to come back again to make a double top or something like this in order to prove to me that the market is holding, because it's Monday and we never know what's gonna happen. Price broke above the EMA. This looks like pretty bullish price action, but I think, yeah, this was Friday. So potentially some profit taking from the sellers that were coming from the upside. So we broke below this kind of major areas right here. And if I have a look on the daily time frame, well, you see the price is not really clear. Like we have this push down, we have this massive push up, then we start to consolidate. Right here, ugly consolidation, massive break above, strong break below. So we really don't know what is happening on UJ. So what I would advise you guys to do is just wait for some clear structure to form. This is not clear. This massive push to the downside is not clear because we don't have clear pushes and pullbacks like lower lows and lower highs. We just have like a straight line of decline. Right now we have a pullback. So what I need to see is after this push, what is going to happen? Is the market going to pull back to the downside to create a higher low and then push for a higher high? If this happens, then I'm going to take longs. If the market is going to push into the highs, reject, and then provide me with some short opportunities like this, then I'm going to take sells. So it all depends on the market. So let's see how Monday opens. Just keep in mind of that level. If it starts to break above and come back for tests, you have to wait for longs potentially. But if the market starts to respect that level, to reject it, then you can look for shorts. And if a break of this level occurs, then further downside will be exposed. Maybe the market will come to tap that daily level right here. Who knows? So let's just see what happens. Not clear market for now, so let's just wait for some clear price action. USD CAD, kind of confusing charts, especially on the 4-hourly time frame. So what we can see right here is a strong decline to the downside, and the last weekly candle is actually bullish. So we have some support coming from the downside. From the daily time frame, we had a breakout of this strong supportive level, a little retest, and then we flushed to the downside. And right now, the market looks like it's creating a lower high from the daily time frame, but the bullish pressure is far too much. And if I drop to the 4-hourly time frame, what we spotted right here is the market creating a double bottom. This was the interest rate decision, massive spike to the downside to capture all of the people that already bought from here, stop losses, all the people that had sell stops below, stop losses, and all the people that went for a sell on the break, all of them got stop losses. And then the market just exploded to the upside. And what it seems like the market is creating right now is this higher low formation. The market pulled back, tried to push up, but failed. So what I will just do in this analysis is keep that level right here and see how the market is going to react from it. Potentially, what I would expect is the market to come back into that level again to create a double bottom and to show me that the market is respecting that level and then push higher. If in case of a break below and pull back, I'm gonna take shorts, and in case of a break in the retest of the high, then I'm gonna take longs. So the overall outlook on this market is bullish. Why? Because we have broken the neckline of the double bottom. We have broken above this structure on the left. All the structure that was right here, we are retesting it. So I will be looking for longs, but as well, keep in mind that from daily time frame, we are declining, but the market just filled that gap. So maybe we're gonna start pushing to the upside, who knows? And this is why we always tend to follow structure. So let's see what happens. I'm more bullish than bearish, so let's see. USD Swiss franc was my top pair for this week. So what do we have is a bearish candle with a huge wick to the downside, indicating that the buyers came in. But what I would expect the next week to do is to continue pushing down and fill that wick. So overall, I feel that I'm gonna be sell biased on this market. Daily time frame, we had that big triangular formation right here. This could be the support. We broke below, we retested, and we had 3 days of straight push to the downside, on which I capitalized on. So my first setup, so on Monday, if you remember the previous volume, I said that I want to see how the market is going to respect this area. You see, every time is the same, and you just have to follow the same rules. So I had this level and I said, okay, the market is pulling away, but I want to see how it's going to come back and test that level. So it came back and the reaction was massive. We had this massive impulsive move to the downside. And after such massive impulsive move, you don't expect too much above pullback. So I went to the hourly time frame. What we have, a massive impulse and a nice correction to the downside with this kind of price action in a corrective pattern. And then when I went to the 15 minute, what I spotted, I took my trade just from right here, from that wick. Yeah, I think it was something like this. My stop loss was safely above, I think 9 pips or something like this. And yeah, I took my profits, I think, too early, something like a 3R or something. Yeah, at the bottom right here, when the market was starting to reject, I just took my profits, something like this. And then just look what happens. If I just held this trade, that would have been massive, but it doesn't make sense to go like this, because 22R is just massive. But yeah, I'm not used to holding trades for that long, so it is what it is. Next opportunity came straight away, a massive push to the downside, another pullback. We go to the hourly time frame. What happens? No, I'm not sure if this was the trade. It was actually just right here. Yes, it was right here. I didn't take this one because the market didn't provide me with a clear setup. If I go to the 15 minutes time frame, oops, what I did, if I try to delete that, just give me a few seconds. Yeah, so if I go to the 15 minutes right here, you see that the market was trending up, but it kind of was providing us this push to the downside, which kind of tried to break below structure, but couldn't, then pushed higher, pull back, push higher. And then on the break of the structural level, we didn't have any retest. The market just straight went to the downside, providing me with no opportunity. But what came next is the other setup that was really picture perfect, which is this one. Again, break below structure. You see a simple break and retest on the hourly time frame. If I go to the 15 minutes, you will see a little structural level forming right here. Have a look at the 15 minute, how the market is failing to break above. You see double top, how it's creating structural level right here, and how it broke and retested that structure. So where I entered is right here on the wick. My stop loss was safely above, I think 14 pips or something like this. And I took my profits to the downside right here for 3R. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade. So yeah, those are my 2 trades on UCHF strength for the week ahead. For this week, let's see what do we have for the week ahead. So when my TP got hit, market just exploded to the upside. So the people that were selling already took their profits. We left a massive wick on the daily time frame, and the market is currently pushing to the upside, which broke above all the structure right here on the left, meaning that I will be looking for buys right now. Daily time frame still looks like sells, and it's actually perfectly testing this area. But what I will need for sales is the market to create new structure. I will need the market to push down to create a higher low. Then I'm going to take a buy and we take profit right here. But if the market starts to fail to break above and form some rejections, then I will know that we can potentially have a break of a trend line and a reversal to the downside from daily perspective. So yeah, so far, if the market pulls back right here and creates a higher low, I will take a long with maximum take profit at this daily area that I just deleted, which is right here. And if the market starts to reject right here, then I will start preparing for shorts because the daily time frame is down. And if this is going to continue down, it will first pull back, come back to make a double top or a lower high. And then I'm going to see my formations on the hourly time frame and what is going to happen. So what I imagine is the market pulling down, coming back up again, failing to break above, and then providing me with the hourly and the 15-minute criteria that I have in my trading plan. So this is USD Swiss. For now, I'm bullish, but I do not exclude the possibility of the market going down. So if the market pulls back, long opportunity right here, maximum TP right here, and just monitor how the market is going to react at that area. Let's have a look at what do we have for the GBPs, starting with GU from the weekly time frame. So what do we have? The market seemed like it broke above this kind of lower high right here, but this week we were met with some selling pressure from the upside. So nothing much of a weekly candle to discuss. Yeah, it's kind of bearish, but you can see from the daily time frame we have the same situation as all the pairs like AU, NU, a strong push to the upside and currently a pullback. So is this pullback a higher low? Again, same situation, guys, we're gonna see from the 4-hourly perspective. So this provided us with some nice short opportunities. I think the first one was right here and the second one was right here. If I just go to the hourly time frame to show you guys, yep, this one was perfectly right here, a simple break and a retest of structure. And if I go to the 15-minute time frame, you are gonna see the trade, which is just right here at that lower high. The market strongly pushes down, breaks below structure, pulls back for a lower high. You take your trade right here. Stop loss potentially, stop loss is a little bit debatable if it should have been that high, but even if it's that high, you go for the lows, and you see that it was a pretty massive trade. And the next one was just right here. The market again created a lower high. We had the same situation, the market trending up, break below, and here is your trade again. And the market provided us with a nice push to the downside. So take note of those trades, go to your charts and try to figure out why this is a trade. So from 4-hourly perspective, again, it's super simple, simple break and retest of structure, lower high formation. Right now, the market has created a lower low. So from 4-hourly perspective, I want to see how the market is going to pull back into this sort of structure right here and to create a lower high. If it creates a lower high and if it leaves me the signs that I want to see, then I will be taking shorts. However, from daily perspective, as we saw, the market is perfectly up. So what we might have is the market strongly pushing to the upside, breaking above that area, or Another situation that I'm spotting right now is if it comes to create an equal lower high, which means it tests this one, what it might come back to form is an inverse head and shoulders as well. So keep that in mind, and this is why it's always important to be flexible in the market and just follow what the market does. But what I will do is I will just wait for this setup, a pullback, lower high, potential short. But if the market again decides to push here or even break in the retest, you know how to adapt to it. GJ, similar trades on that one. The first one was right here. The second one is right here at this lower high, which was Friday that we didn't have a look at. And this one was very messy. You see here mess on the hourly time frame, so nothing clear to trade. And if I go to the 15-minute, it was just madness, like push down, push up, push down, push up. So no trade on this one. Maybe you could have got an intro trade after the market really broke below that supportive level and came back for tests. But yeah, I didn't trade GJ this week. So deleting everything and seeing what is happening now from daily time frame, we have the same as strong push to the downside, but a strong push to the downside as well. First to the upside, downside, 4-hourly time frame, perfect bearish market right here. We have the lower high formed, so I want to see how the market stays below that lower high. We still haven't broken the lower low, which means that the market is in the middle. So again, we have to see what will happen. The market can potentially come back to this level to test to form a double top. The market can break below and come back for a retest. The market can consolidate as well. Everything can happen. So let's just have those two levels and let's see what will happen on Monday. Nothing too much to discuss right now. It's not an immediate setup. So just take those key levels in mind and let's see how the market reacts to them. If I check GBP AUD, a trade that I don't trade, actually my analysis stays the same, I think, from the previous week. So we have a little bit of a consolidation to the bottom. If I check the weekly, yeah, ugly weekly candle, nothing to discuss. Daily time frame, we have a strong push to the upside with a pullback right now, pretty bearish pullback. No, this is not the daily. The daily is right here, a strong push to the upside, a pullback, bearish last candle, 4-hourly time frame. If I delete everything, we had the support break retest. So overall, the analysis played out. I don't remember what I was looking on the previous week because I just don't follow that pair. But what I will do right now is just mark this big supportive level because we have a higher high. Right now, the market is pulling back for a higher low, but it seems like it's too strong. It tries to find support, but it fails and it keeps pushing down. So what I will do is I will just mark this level and see how the market reacts to it. We have already broken below the higher high because we have a break in a retest. We could have a break in a retest of the higher high, but the market broke below, tested from below, tested from below, and continued to push down. So what we might have as well is a potential head and shoulders. If the market taps into that area, we can pull back for a head and shoulders formation, and then we can continue to the downside. So let's see, not pretty clear on GA, not an immediate opportunity. So I would just keep those two key levels right here. Even from the FIP, I think 78.2. Oh, that's perfect, 61.8. So we can still look for longs, but for longs, I would really need to see how the market is gonna find support right here. So while I will need to see is some rejections from the bottom, some bullish candles, and the hourly time frame to start shifting to the upside. So this is GA, a little bit 50-50 and not pretty nice price action. And going to Euro GBP, a pair that I don't trade as well. Weekly time frame, nothing much, a bearish candle, but it looks like an inside candle as well. Daily time frame, just consolidation. Those are my key daily areas right here. 4-hourly time frame. We see that the price, where the price opened, just right here, I had this supportive level, and you see that the market found support, failed to break below, broke back above, tested that level again, strongly broke above. So if you took a trade from in and around this area, then you will be fine. But I think there was a trade. Here it is, actually a break and a retest of this hourly level, but just a slight retest. So if you go to the 15 minutes time frame, yeah, your only opportunity is this wick right here if you think that this is your signal, and then the market just continued to push strongly to the upside. What I would expect for the next week, let's see. So I can see that the market is starting to consolidate. We have a strong supply area right here, and we have that market creating a kind of a higher low, or yeah, it's just a supportive level. What I need to see is a break and a retest of those levels, guys. Just keep it simple. A strong break above with a retest will be a long, and a strong break below with a retest will be a short. And just keep in mind all of the supportive levels to the downside when taking a short, because they are a lot, and overall this market is consolidating. So if you have a look at the bigger picture, we have a big consolidation, so as well keep that in mind. Euro GBP is not a nice pair to trade right now, so I would just stay away from it, but here's my analysis, just trying to stay with the flow. Let's have a quick look at gold. So weekly time frame, what do we have? Well, is it a bullish engulf? Well, it kind of closed above the body of the previous one, but not really a bullish engulf. So let's check daily time frame. What do we have? I currently don't trade gold because yeah, I just don't like gold too much. It's too fast for me. It doesn't provide retest and it doesn't work with my strategy too much. So what I see right here is a potential inverse head and shoulder scenario. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder potential for a pullback because we pulled back into the previous lower high. And then when this happens, we can potentially have an inverse head and shoulders. 4-hourly time frame, I think we looked for shorts on that one. From here, the market broke above. Second, from here, the market broke above. There was a beautiful longing opportunity, but I think it just didn't work out. I think some people took it just from here, break, retest. This was the long opportunity right here, but the market then stopped us out. I didn't take the trade because I don't trade gold, but I think some people took it. And then the market ended up consolidating. As for the next week, as you saw from the daily time frame, the market might pull back into this low right here, which is yeah, 1700. Could pull back there to create an inverse head and shoulders. But as from 4-hourly perspective, I will mark this level, which is my major. There are too many levels. I don't like to keep it like this, so I will just draw a line right here where the market is respecting, and this is my higher low. So a break below and a retest can lead us to a short opportunity, but make sure to have your take profit at 1700s because that's where the market can form that inverse head and shoulders from the daily and push to the upside. So let's see what happens. Right now we have a double top. I think the market might push to the downside because it has reached this resistance area, but you never know with gold what is going to happen right now, and this is what I don't like it. So be careful, guys. My bias is short for now, I would say, only if we break below this level, because so far we've been creating higher lows and higher highs, but right now the market has showed us the first evidence of failing to break above, which is this double top. So if we break below the neckline, come back for a retest, break below the EMA as well, retest, then we can take a short, but again, be mindful of the daily inverse head and shoulders. And a very quick outlook on the indices. I'm very happy to see that the market is actually pulling back, or is it reversing? So from weekly time frame, we have here a strong bearish candle. Daily time frame, we have a strong pullback. So is this pullback just a pullback, just a retracement, or is the market gonna create another wave to the downside? This is very debatable. I've been reading here and there that there's gonna be one more wave to the downside, that the corona actually situation is gonna like have another hit. No one knows. The stocks dropped a little bit after the interest rate decisions as well, so I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna put some money into stocks right now because this is a nice pullback on those companies. So it's worth taking some not some trades but some investments. So what happens right here, like, I just don't know how to trade US trading, and I will be frank with you, I haven't traded it before, but I just follow it for my stock investments. And right now we have a strong push to the downside and a pullback. So if I see the market starting to strongly close above, then I will know that maybe potentially the stocks are gonna push higher. As for now, like from daily time frame, this is a pullback. So if I drop a single fib where the leg started, well, actually the leg started right here, this push to the upside, so we actually broke below this level. But if we take the bigger one, we're sitting into the 61 and the 78.6% area, which is pretty weak. So what I would expect on this one is another push to the downside. Do we have some sort of a trend line right here to break? Well, we actually broke it and retesting it. So very curious to see how the indices are gonna open on Monday. And if we have a look at NASDAQ, so first US 30 started to drop and then NASDAQ followed. It's actually recovered above the crash, which is very interesting, but we had a little push to the downside. So is this going to sustain? Like, we have to see. We have a broken structure and a retest. So if I see the market strongly break below this area, then I will just wait, and I will potentially buy more, because the lower the price gets, the more discount you have. Let me know if you want to do some more videos about stocks, because I've been reading a lot and learning about it. Let me know if any of the viewers right here are stock investors as well. I would be really glad to know. So let's see. I have those two key areas. A break below will indicate selling pressure, which is very good. And potentially if the market starts to push up, which means that this was just a little correction, just a little pullback, and the market is gonna continue rolling. I don't believe so, but we have to see. and I have this one. I'm not sure if this is the right one because price action is very ugly on this one, a lot of gaps. But yeah, overall we push down on the S&P 500 index, and I'm gonna see if this is gonna sustain to the downside. So this is for today, guys. I really hope you appreciate the video, you found something valuable. If you did, please leave a comment below and slap the like button, because it really helps me and it really lets me know that you appreciate the content. Let me know if you want to see more and what you want to see more. And yeah, as well, this video is sponsored by Trading and Code Trading. It's a trusted signal provider that has a free Discord channel, so make sure to check them out. Link will be down in the description. And thank you for staying up until now, guys. I really appreciate you, and I cannot wait to see you on my next video.